Hello again, everybody. Zach Attack is here with my WWE Raw review for the night, Monday, August 19th, 2013. Of course, the aftermath of Summerslam taking place from the Honda Center, formerly known as the Arrowhead Pond, in Anaheim, California. My thoughts on the night's post Summerslam Raw was okay tonight. We had a couple injury paloozas, fake injuries, and a weird injury, and a big guy, going out for a few months, thank goodness. Plus, we had a coronation of the bullshit screwy champion, an explanation or lack thereof an explanation for the screw job that happened with Daniel Bryan out of the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. Now, I said this a couple weeks back, that I think maybe a lot of fans may see it now, that I've been predicting a rehash of the Daniel Bryan McMahon feud, Vince McMahon feud specifically, kind of a rehash of Austin McMahon feud. I don't think it's Daniel Bryan versus just Vince McMahon. I think it's Daniel Bryan versus the entire McMahon family. Stephanie's involved. We all know, asshole. That's one thing that was missing from the coronation. They should have chanted asshole. This was still TV 14. Triple H would have got an asshole chant. And Stephanie would have been chanted slut at. That's my opinion. Anyway, so we had that, and basically, if you're against the McMahon family, you're dead, because you thought people get punished. But let's begin with John Cena. Now, John Cena had elbow injury recently. I've read about it, but I never really commented on here on my shelves. But he fought the match last night at SummerSlam with it. But now he came out. I thought he was going to stay home, but he came out just to explain, hey, I have an injury, and his elbow is the size of a football. So I would say softball, any other big thing. And Cena's like, I'll be out for 4 to 6 months. Well, from what I'm reading, Cena's going to really actually fucking heal this time. Because there's been times when Cena's come back from injury too soon. Most famously, his injury in 2007, which caused him to forfeit the WWE Championship before his no last man standing match against Randy Orton at No Mercy 07. And it led to, I think they said he was supposed to miss Mania. Well, he came back in the Royal Rumble. He's not going to do that again. But he applauded Daniel Bryan for winning cleanly. I applaud Daniel Bryan for beating John Cena. I more applaud John Cena for losing to him cleanly. That John Cena didn't bury Daniel Bryan. Triple H buried Daniel Bryan. Anyway, so John Cena applauded D. Bryan, but he was upset and disappointed about Triple H's actions. Triple H is no longer a rebel. And Daniel Bryan made it clear when he came out after being introduced by John Cena, saying that Triple H used to be the leader of DX, now he's just a corporate slut. Basically what he said. Especially when he's talking to a slut, Stephanie McMahon, coming out, and boy did she get booed out the fucking building. Anaheim crowd was pretty decent tonight. Dead when they're supposed to be dead, but loud when they were loud. And boy, oh boy, that crowd was probably very loud to Daniel Bryan tonight. Like they did last night in Los Angeles. And Stephanie was trying to tell her side, saying that it was the right thing for business. Right thing for business? That wasn't the right thing. The right thing was screwing a guy, a wrestler, out of a championship. You did it to him once before, the 18 seconds in WrestleMania. Now you did it to him again with this SummerSlam. I know it's like, if you saw my wall preview on my Attack Line today, I said that, it's supposed to make him get more over with the fans about getting screwed, making the fans like him more and cheer for him more, but come on. That was BS, and Brian's like, he did say, I thought of a word that rhymes with B about you. I thought of a word that starts with the letter S. Slut! Like I said just a few seconds ago. If this was TV 14, they'd be chanting slut right now. To Stephanie. If this was still TV 14. But hey, we wish for that. But hey, conservative Americans don't want that. Every time they tease anything attitude, everybody bitches. Same people who are probably bitching that Randy Orton turned heel. I'm not bitching Orton turned heel. I'm just bitching about the fact that it had happened to Daniel Bryan for him to turn heel, you know what I mean? That's my point. That's why I didn't hear people boo Randy. People boo Triple H. People booed Stephanie. People booed Vince McMahon. They just hate the stipulation he's in, the situation. So Daniel Bryan got into a little verbal confrontation with Stephanie, especially since she said, well, you're never going to be the big name. Basically, that's why Triple H and Stephanie did this plan, because they thought Daniel Bryan's not the future. He's not big enough to be the champ. He's not the guy that needs to. He's not the guy destined to be the face of WWE. And it's coming from the girl who got all KO'd by Randy Orton in 2009. As for the Triple H's feud with Randy Orton in WrestleMania 25. Surprised when she hugged him. I know it's wrestling, but hey, it's just weird going through that storyline. But hey, anyway, because seems like Daniel Bryan, you're B+. He's more like an A+ to me. He's like the Bret Hart of this generation, though. Because my dad, he's like, I don't like Bret Hart because he wasn't entertaining. He was more like an athlete. He just didn't have any personality. That's maybe Triple H's thing about Daniel Bryan. Like, Daniel Bryan's a good athlete, but he's not entertaining. His tag team with Kane made him an entertaining guy. You know, Team Hell No was a fun, entertaining thing. And now he's finally wrestling again after they broke up. Like they should have months before they finally did. So D-Bar was getting Stephanie's face. He was like, I said this on my PV, he needs to go off, and he fucking did go off. He's like, I work too damn hard for this. You want me fired, don't you? You gotta find a way to get me out of this company. And he was just going off and getting PO'd and getting in Stephanie's face, even knocking the mic out of Stephanie's hand. And she literally had enough, and she's like, Daniel Bryan, your anger management problems still bugging you, huh? You need to Dr. Shelby again? Speaking of Team, I don't know how that started. Anger management. Anyway, Stephanie threw Daniel Bryan out of the building. But as Nikki says, she was going to get back in, especially for the coronation. And as we would see, he would sneak back in the hard way. Now, let's go on with the action with a SummerSlam rematch. Damien Sandow against Cody Rhodes, because Cody Rhodes defeated Sandow at SummerSlam, and Sandow wanted revenge, wanted a redemption, like Daniel Bryan is. I think Daniel Bryan's road to retribution and redemption began tonight. But Damien Sandow's road to redemption started and ended on Raw tonight, trying to beat Cody Rhodes after losing to him last night, especially living all of his, his fancy self-righteous moves, including the elbow, the stamina goes. Cody, feeling the high of beating the Money in the Bank briefcase winner last night, came with his own little bag of tricks, but of course the Beauty Disaster Kick. It was as good as the match at SummerSlam. Pretty good, decent action to begin Raw tonight. And of course, there was some, decent action. Like I said, these guys can put on a decent matchup together. Former best friends, the storyline and stuff. And Sandow hold his own in the later half of the matchup after Cody took advantage. Like I said, Cody had advantage in the second half of the match. Later half, Sandow fought up, and then of course Cody came flying back after Sandow was going for a big move. Cody countered it with a sunset flip and a 1-2-3 victory. Second time in a row that he's defeated Mr. Money in the Bank, Damien Sandow. So Cody's like, he thinks that he should be the true #1 contender now, because he beat the Money in the Bank briefcase holder of the World Championship briefcase not once, but twice in 2 nights. So I don't think he'll get the title shot. I believe someone else will, as we would see later on in the evening. So Cody won his match, again beating Sandow, and now we're on to a segment involving Paul Heyman coming out in a sling, talking about, of course, CM Punk getting his butt whipped in a decent fighting effort against Mr. The Beast Brock Lesnar last night. And Heyman's like, Punk, you wanted to be free from me. You wanted to break out. It's like a teenager wanting to get away from his parents' house to learn things on his own and learn things the hard way. Like CM Punk strayed away from the Heyman camp to try to be out on his own, but he learned that he may not make it on his own, especially getting his butt whipped by Brock Lesnar last night. It was like punishing Punk, but then like teaching Punk a lesson, and he's like, Punk, you took a beating, I want you back. Heyman's like, I want you back in my stable. I want to manage you again. Best friend, trying to win Punk back, saying that I'm sorry for being an asshole, but I'm going to accept your apology. If you do have an apology for me, I will take you back. So we'll see if Punk would take Heyman's apology. They were like trying to bury the hatchet. That's what Heyman wanted. Like this feud between him and Punk needed to end in his mind. But as we would see, wasn't the case. Now on with a Divas tag match. The crowd was dead for this one, deservedly so. It was the Funkadactyls, of course, Naomi and Cameron, taking on Layla and AJ Lee. I think one of the Funkadactyls got injured. It was the first injury crazy Raw tonight. And I think she tripped or something. One of the Funkadactyls fell. Basically it was like a 2-on-1 handicap match because Naomi was the only one that got in. But then I think Naomi got tripped. I think she tripped or something. I thought she got hurt or something. And Cameron never really got hurt. Just Naomi coming in, and of course Naomi, despite the being isolated, with a little help from distraction from Cameron, Layla got rolled up by Naomi to get the surprise win from the Funkadactyls, representing the Total Divas cast. I think the Mean Girls of the WWE, the plastics of the WWE. Well, they had the hashtag Mean Girls, and they deserve it. The Bello Trims, the no countless ego bitches. And their show got represented well with the Funkadactyls getting a little win. I think that was the only Divas match tonight. Let's move on with the first of 2 3-on-1 handicap matches. Like I said in the beginning of this review, people who like to express themselves, freedom of speech. But if you express yourself dissing the McMahon family, your ass is cooked. You know what I mean? Now it's back to the old mantra. In the McMahon family. It's like we're back in the McMahon-Helmsley era again. If you talk smack about McMahons, you're going to get punished. And 2 men got punished with 3-on-1 handicap matches against one Pacific team. The Shield. Yes, the Shield got to be wrestling twice tonight. Stemming from 2 guys who made comments about Triple H's actions on WWE.com. The first to get the punishment, Dolph Ziggler. Because Paramedics, he made both matches, saying that Dolph Ziggler deserves to be in action. In other words, he's being punished. He's like, oh, there's no punishment, but it was. And the numbers game really got the Dolph in the game. And I also said beginning there was injury palooza. I think Seth Rollins had a little injury. He kind of fell on his knee. I think Dolph Ziggler hip tossed him off the middle, off the ring apron, and I think Seth landed gingerly on his leg. It was kind of like grabbing his leg. You even see him grabbing it during the second handicap match too. So I don't know if the extent of that injury, if it was a storyline injury or not, but Dolph Ziggler tried to hold his own, trying to withhold the numbers game because he knows how strong the Shield is. And even held his own a little bit, delivering the Famouser. But of course, the Shield, like I said, the numbers game got the best of Dolph, getting eventually speared the hell by Roman Reigns. And another spear by Reigns basically sealed the win for the Shield, despite Dolph's best efforts. Dolph looked very good in this matchup. He tried to outrun the numbers game. I thought someone was going to help him, but no one did. So then they gave him the triple powerbomb post-match. So there you go. The Shield delivering a message basically in part of the McMahon family. Don't talk smack about McMahon's family or you're going to get your ass kicked. And another person would get that tonight. Even if he was a big man. So there you go. And after that little match from the Shield, the injury palooza continued with a kind of a wheel injury involving a put down there Leo in his match against Sin Cara. Or should I say, a stupid match. It was just ended too short because Sin Cara got injured. But Cara strikes again. Anyway, The match, like the way it began, like it looked like it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be a good matchup because these are two Mexican luchadors, and they didn't use that shitty ass lighting. The blue and yellow lighting they use for Sin Cara's match. It's nice to see Sin Cara there, but I think he won't be on for a while after what happened tonight. And as like Alberto tried to weaken him down a little bit and tried to go for his little moves, but then Sin Cara came back with an arm drag and going for his own little move until he did a he tossed Alberto to the ring and did a suicide dive by landing on his wrist, and he landed hard on it. And then Alberto tried to beat up on him, but the doctors came and called the match of a because of this injury that Sin Cara suffered when I think it might have impacted it when he hit Alberto before he hit the ring. But what we are hearing that from several sources that Sin Cara has legitimately dislocated his finger. That's a stupid way to lose a match and to call off a match. If you had a hand injury, fine, but he just broke his finger? What the fuck? The sources are saying that he's getting x-rays tomorrow. It is so much heat. And he was supposed to lose because he was set to lose because hello, he was taking on the world champion. So maybe that's why they had a lot of heat. That's what I'm hearing from several sources. So that's why I think they had that impromptu fight we saw with CM Punk and Curtis Axel later on. I think they were trying to fill time after the Sin Cara Alberto match ended too short. So Alberto, after that match, ended with Sin Cara injuring himself again. Alberto, of course, feeding off the fact that they're in California, big Latino population, being a hero for Latinos. I thought someone was going to interrupt them. It was going to be Christian or Mysterio or my third choice, which ended up being Okada. What do we guess? I thought I was going to get involved and screw Del Rio last night. But then Okada announced he's got a new client. Thus making two of my predictions wrong tonight. I predicted two things in my SummerSlam review for the night and the Night of Champions. That was wrong. Number one, I predicted there would be a 6-man tag between the Shield against Mark Henry, RVD, and Big Show, and stemming from last night's actions. And the other thing I got wrong is Rob Van Dam was going to get a rematch against Dean Ambrose for the U.S. Championship at Night of Champions. He'll be fighting for the World Champion, I'm guessing. Because Ricardo's like, my new client is, I thought I was going to say Christian, but it was Rob Van Dam. So Rob Van Dam came out, beat up Alberto, dealing with some big moves. He was setting him up. He had him down, ready for the 5-star, but Alberto rolled out before he got to do it. So, and here's why this makes sense. Two reasons why this makes sense for Ricardo to align himself with RVD and RVD to get a title match at Night of Champions. Number one, it was a few weeks ago when Alberto turned on Ricardo, when Ricardo accidentally hit Alberto with the bucket, helping RVD get a pin win over the world champion 2 weeks ago on Raw, when Ricardo came back from suspension. That's when Alberto turned on him. Maybe he did it on purpose, just to set up this match. And the second reason why not only it makes sense for Ricardo to team up with RVD, but it makes sense for RVD to possibly get a world title shot, Night of Champions, is in Detroit. Right here in Michigan, his home state. So it makes sense for RVD to be at Night of Champions and to fight the world champion in his home state of Michigan. So there you go. Sin Cara injured himself again doing a match with Alberto Del Rio, which ended prematurely. And RVD comes out, aligning himself with Ricardo Rodriguez. It's not going to be the same goal. It's not going to be like, Rob Van Dam! I like the way they did the Alberto Del Rio. So I like when he did that. So there you go. Now, we had a tag team match. We had the Real Americans, of course, Jack Swagger and Antonio Cesar teaming up against a team that is turning face tonight. They remind me of Crime Time. Not just because they're an all-black team, but because I think Crime Time started as heels, and then they became good guys. And now they're good guys, this team, who are worth millions of dollars. Of course, the Prime Time players. Darren Young, the recently outed wrestler, coming out of the closet. If you saw my tech line on Thursday, I'm proud of him for it. I am not prejudiced at all, so I'm, happy he was brave enough to do that. Teaming up, of course, with his partner in crime, the real deal, Kyle Jr. It's kind of weird to see him faces, but I think I'm kind of happy to faces again. Because now that D. Young is now outed himself as a active gay wrestler, I think it's gonna bring people towards cheering for him. That they're not gonna be presidents for him to be like, hey man, we support you. You know, we don't judge you on your sexuality. We believe in living your life the way you want to, and we applaud you for it. And maybe that's why they told him face, so he can feed off the crowd reaction of being outed recently in the press when he said it to a paparazzi guy. Anyway, the Real Americans, I like both teams. Both teams I think are destined for tag team title matches in the future. Real Americans did a series of matches with Usos. The last couple weeks were very good, and once again, like that match against the Usos, Real Americans had great teamwork. Great tagging in and out. Isolating the man in the corner. Great tag team action from those guys. And then the primetime players finally got back in the game after the Swagger and Cesaro isolation of each guy. Like Darren Young was isolated at one point. And of course, Titus Young was also isolated with the quick tags and the double teams by Cesaro and Swagger. But the primetime players, of course, returned the favor by delivering their own double team look, their own tagging in and out, and their own devastation of the Real Americans. And of course, D Young got the victory as of course Titus tagging D Young, coming in like a house of fire, beating the crap out of Cesaro. He was doing some moves on Cesaro. Swagger was trying to interfere, but Titus got him out of the ring before. Darren Young set up his big finisher on Antonio Cesaro, which was the gut check and the victory for Darren Young and his team, the PTP. They wrote on Twitter, you saw on the bottom of the screen, we're not sitting and watching anymore, they're going to take action. So nice to see PTP in a match and finally on Raw in a win over the Real Americans. Speaking of happy to see on Raw, Zack Ryder was on Raw tonight doing a segment promoting the Foot Locker contest. Mary WWE did listen to the We Want Ryder chant that was said last night during the match between Brie Bella and Natalya when they were chanting random things because the match was boring. And then, of course, Fandango came in, and I knew he was going to get involved in a match tonight, which I'll explain when he gets to that point. Now, after that win from PTP, nice to see him win and be on Raw. I applaud D Young for his bravery, like I said. Now on to, another 3-on-1 handicap match. I told you that the Shield was used twice tonight on two men who made comments about Vince and Triple H's actions on the WWE.com being punished. Like I said, it was Dolph Ziggler. Then it was Mark Henry. His tag team partner, Big Show. Big Show did confirm that yes, he and Mark Henry are going to be teaming up against the Shield. Right on that, I made 3 predictions that RVD was going to get a U.S. title rematch against Ambrose at Night of Champions. Wrong on that. He'll probably face Alberto. I thought it was going to be a 6-man between Mark Henry, Big Show, and RVD tonight against the Shield. That didn't happen. But I'm going to be right. I'm probably going to be right on the other prediction that I made that Mark Henry and Big Show will get a title match against Rollins and Reigns at Night of Champions for the tag titles, especially stemming from the second handicap match. Big Show taking on all 3 members of the Shield. Now, during the match against Ziggler, he had to tag in and out. But in this handicap match against Big Show, all 3 men were in at the same time. No tagging. Like Big Show was like, are you sure you want to put the Shield through this? Because it looked like that Big Show was dominant because, Big Show's a big guy, and he squashes people. And he really destroyed, and really gave it to the Shield, really destroying the Shield. But Shield, in the sneaky, sly way, did indeed take down the big man known as the Big Show. Despite Rollins finding up his little knee injury, like I said, he suffered during the handicap match against Mr. Ziggler. Of course, Big Show held his own, of course, until the others. Like, you would get one Shield member in a precarious position and another Shield member would get involved, especially when Big Show was going for a big move on Ambrose, and then Rollins, his tag team championship partner, Reigns, speared the hell out of Big Show. Of course, Big Show did spear some people too, but then Reigns caught Big Show up in midair with the spear. I think Big Show was trying to go up the top, or I think it was either Big Show was going up the top and Reigns caught him in midair, or Reigns was jumping up the top rope and caught Big Show when he was in midair. I think it was Rollins. Reigns jumping up in midair and caught Big Show with the spear, which basically helped set up the triple powerbomb to Big Show. Like I said, they did triple powerbomb Ziggler, but it was after the match. They triple powerbomb Big Show during the match, which sealed the win for the Shield. So they won 2 straight handicap matches in a row, as Big Show and Dolph were both being punished for their comments about Vince and Triple H, specifically Triple H. Now, on with CM Punk coming out, having a little bit of a knee injury after his fight with Brock Lesnar last night. Of course, CM Punk was going to answer whether or not he was going to forgive Paul Heyman and apologize to him so he can be brought back. Because Punk was like, when he came out, was like, Paul Heyman, you made these points, you made it personal with me about being the prodigal son of yours, and say that without you, I'm nothing, basically. Without Paul Heyman, I'm nothing. You know, that I cannot make it to the top again. That's what Heyman's like said. He said, Punk, if you're with me again, I'll take you back to the top. I'll get you back to the WWE Championship, get you back to the Royal Rumble, and back to WrestleMania main event, because you are, and we are, when you're with me, we are the best in the world, not you, Punk. We as a team, Heyman and Punk. But Heyman wasn't going to be forgiven by Punk that easily. But Punk was like, Heyman, you want me, I'll give you an apology, but come out. But he said, I'm sorry for what I'm about to do when I kick your ass, basically. So he didn't forgive him. And he's like, I'm sorry that I didn't beat you up long enough at SummerSlam to beat your ass. And I'm sorry that you don't have the balls. Speaking of balls, CM Punk shouted out a fan. That was kind of funny when the fan started booing. And he's like, hey, fat ass, come on, bitch. Come on, bring it on. Like, you want to start a fight with a fan. Of course, Punk has been notorious for starting fights with fans. I remember once, I think he accidentally elbowed a fan once. A couple years back. Maybe like last year or 2 years ago. But, now he caught, like a fan was booing. He was like, hey, you boo me, fat boy. You know, he kind of challenged him to the fight. And then that's when Heyman came out after that. And then he's like, Punk's like, I want to fight tonight. I may be hurt. I may be medically unclear to wrestle, but I want to fight somebody tonight. So, Curtis Axel, who came out with Paul Heyman, did the duty. And like I said a few minutes ago, I think this impromptu fight between Paul Heyman's guy, Curtis Axel, against CM Punk was to fill time because of the Sin Cara injury. But it was not really a match. It was a fight because there was no referee. It was unsanctioned. You know, just Punk nailing the crap out of Axel with a steel chair and just a big old brawl. And then Axel came out with his big moves, and he just destroyed Axel because they said they went to commercial and they said if Punk didn't leave, there'd be a fight with him and Axel, and the fight did happen between Punk and Axel tonight. And Punk nailed him with the bell, to the chest because he couldn't hit anybody in the head anymore. And Punk was just frustrated beyond relief. And once again, his obsession with beating up Paul Heyman got the best of Punk yet again. Because every time he nailed Axel down, he was trying to get Paul Heyman and really beat him up, despite the arm sling. But every time he did, Axel would come from behind. The Punk came flying back, delivering the GTS on the steel steps to Axel. And that's when Heyman was really... That was like the closest that Punk got to beating up Heyman the entire match, was when Axel was down after the GTS and Heyman was basically trapped like a wow until Axel came back in with his own little moves. But then after that GTS, actually, that's how Punk basically won the fight. Basically, after that GTS and the steel steps was the one that got him, and then Heyman walked away. Like every time, like Heyman would, like Punk was in advantage. Like Heyman would run away, but then like there was a point during that fight before the final GTS and the steps that Axel did beat up Punk, and then like Heyman got closer because Heyman was seeing his former BFF get punished by Axel in the ring. So then, like I said, Punk with the last GTS and the steps nailed it, ended the match. So they even nailed Axel with a chair like he did to Lesnar last night. So there goes a little impromptu fight. I think to fill time after the Sin Cara injury with this unofficial fight going in Punk's favor. Now on with this match. It was R-Truth taking on Bray Wyatt following that boring Inferno match last night against Kane. Now, R-Truth was attacked by the Wyatt family a few weeks ago, and now he gets his first one-on-one action against Bray Wyatt, his first Raw match, as Bray Wyatt, of course, former Husky Harris. You know, sorry I say that, but hey, you remember people's other characters. That's why you hear people chanting Albert when you see Tenzai, or people who copy others, like Bullybug, Ryback, Cryback, Ryback. God, this bullying thing. I think Ryback being a bully is WWE's ways of saying, sorry, Goldberg. Ryback, you got nothing. We got nothing for you right now. You lost to Cena, now your career's down the drain. I'm looking forward to the day when they say, we wish Ryback luck in his future endeavors. I want to get future endeavors soon, because when I told you on my Summerslam review, I watched Summerslam with my friend. Sorry to go off topic here, but I had to say something about Ryback because he was seen on the show tonight. My friends, when I was watching Summerslam with my friends last night, like I said on my review, they went around the table. It was like 5 or 6 of my friends and me saying, which WWE superstar you wish would go away? I said the Shield to them, but I changed my mind. Ryback needs to go away. Anyway, back to the match. Or should I say, squash. R-Truth taking on Bray Wyatt. And Bray Wyatt showed more wrestling skills than he did last night against Kane. Despite R-Truth did coming up with some little offense to Bray Wyatt ducking out of possible clotheslines. Of course, Bray Wyatt came flying back with some big punches. A big splash, which ended with, of course, his finisher. The move has now got a name. The Sister Abigail move that he kisses on the head and just nails him with it. The 1-2-3 victory squash match win for Bray Wyatt. Speaking of squash, we got the Job Squad. 3MB. 2 members. Of course, Heath Slater and Jinder Mahal taking on the Usos, who are on a roll right now, like I said. After winning their series of matches, or at least making it even against Swagger and Cesaro last week, they took on the Job Squad. 3MB, sorry. I see them on TV, but they always lose. And it was not an easy squash, but a squash nonetheless for 3MB. Like, 3MB did try some offense, so I'll give 3MB credit for at least trying to show a fight with the Usos and all, but, of course, the Usos came in with their big, high Samoan offense. You know, the big splashes and the big knees. You know, and, like I said, it was not an easy squash to win, but they did win, as we all know. Jinder and Heath did try to fight back. Like I said, it was some offense moves and quick teaming. But of course, it was all, even though they fight, it always ends the same. It ended with Jimmy getting a quick tag in. Jimmy getting a big tag in, coming in, dominating over them. They're coming in a house of fire with some hot punches. And then Drew got attacked on the floor. And I think I knew what was going to happen after when they got Jinder in. A big kick coming in from Jay. Jay tagging Jimmy as he was about to do a big splash on Heath and Drew on ringside, which gave Jimmy the positioning to give the Superfly Splash to Jinder in a 1-2-3 victory for the Usos. Usos! Another team that deserves another shot at tag team glory. And after the match, they danced a little, kind of like Rikishi, their dad. Speaking of people who like to dance and also interfere, on with our next match, the main event for one tonight, involving the Summerslam host, The Miz, taking on his one-time rival, Wade Barrett. It was kind of like watching a match of WrestleMania again, or more like watching the Raw match from after Mania again, because there was probably a lot of fans who came around the world for the SummerSlam, then came to the Raw the next day, like they did for Mania. Like the people who were there for Mania came the next day for the post SummerSlam or post Mania Raw, because you could tell there's a lot of British people chanting, "Let's go Barrett again!" You know, like Barrett in his bare knuckle style and being clean shaven by Daniel Bryan. Really dominating early going in the matchup, despite I think Miz came in like a house fight, delivering his big splash until Wade Barrett countered it and delivered his own bare knuckle style, and really isolating Miz, with of course the crowd on his side being, a lot of UK people this evening. And then Miz had came come back with some big clotheslines and attempting the figure four leg lock twice on Wade Barrett. He did have the figure four leg lock on at one time, and I was like thinking to myself, when Miz nailed that second figure four leg lock, I said, this is the point when Fandango's music hits to distract the Miz after the altercation at SummerSlam last night. Where instead of the music hitting, as Miz was doing the figure four for the second attempt, getting it on, Fandango did come out and did his leg drop head scissors move off the top rope, causing a disqualification, laying out Miz. And of course, possibly starting their feud that I kind of predicted from the SummerSlam altercations last night. And of course, so there you go. Miz wins by DQ after the interference from Fandango. And, I mentioned before we get to our last segment, we had a new tag team being teased tonight. Of course, Fandango was the last guy that got teased, along with the Bray Wyatt family. And then we got a new tag team that's being teased tonight with a vignette shown for a new tag team known as Los Matadors. First Matador gimmick I've seen in WWE since El Matador Tino Santana. And they had a little gimmick about, like, they had this video that aired about, the bull fighters, and these two guys are wearing, like, these, the luchador jackets, and they're wearing these pink masks over their eyes. And I was like, who are Los Luchadors? Who are their identities? Gonna make it mysteriously, add more mystique. I'm hearing they're Epico and Primo. That's what I'm hearing from several sources, that Epico and Primo are now the Los Luchadors, Los Matadors, trying to repackage them, giving them a new gimmick. Like I said, the Matador was a new gimmick for Tito Santana. Tito Santana was repackaged as a Matador, and they're probably doing the same thing with Primo and Epico. I didn't really notice it was them, but hey, I was wondering who was there. But I see Primo and Epico get a little push again as new identities. I wonder if some people will know, unless they read the internet like I do. So there you go, Los Matadors, the newly repackaged Primo and Epico. Now, on with the championship coronation for the new WWE champion, Randy Orton. Now, I knew that when this coronation was going to happen, because Stephanie got booed, and Triple H came out and got booed. And like I said during the Stephanie segment, if this was still TV 14, you would not have heard "You Sold Out." You would have heard "asshole, asshole." I'm surprised no one did it. Just Triple H deserves it in this storyline. Triple H is a good heel and all, and Randy Orton is a good heel too. Nice to see him all heel again, but still, just the way it happened. The way it happened, because when Randy Orton came out, he didn't get much boos. He got mixed reaction, because people still like Orton didn't like the way Randy Orton got the championship. Basically, they booed Triple H because it was Triple H who basically handed the title to Randy Orton last night by helping him get the victory by pedigreeing the hell out of Daniel Bryan. The locker room cleared out, even a Shield, who I think are being paid off by the McMahon family after punishing Big Show and Dolph Ziggler in handicap matches. They let the security guards prevent Daniel Bryan to get back in. Of course, Daniel Bryan, like I said, did get back in and try to get involved, which he kind of did. So Triple H's like, so you all expect me to give you an explanation, huh? Makes me laugh, because you don't see the bigger picture. I did this from the business. I did it for you. I did it for Vince McMahon Sr. I did it making fun of Rikishi. I mention Rikishi a lot, because I mentioned Rikishi when his sons dance, and I kind of made fun of Rikishi when Rikishi ran over Stone Cold and admitted it. He's like, I did it for The Rock. Basically, Triple H is saying, I did it because I'm a corporate kiss ass, and I'm no longer a rapper like Daniel Bryan said. You have a corporate kiss ass. Even though we didn't see eye to eye, I let go of my personal differences. Because you saw there were personal differences between Vince and Triple H. So it wasn't really a setup. They weren't really in cahoots. It's just Triple H seeing the light, as Vince would say. Saying that Triple H saw the light. He finally realized what I'm preaching. Or in other words, Triple H drinking Vince McMahon's Kool-Aid. In other terms. Anyway. So he's like, I did it for the family. I did what I did to Daniel Bryan. I felt bad about it. I have my personal opinions. The old saying goes, like Donald Trump would say, nothing personal. It's just business. That's what Triple H says. It's business. A business decision. It's like, it wasn't the best. It was the right thing. The right thing to ruin a guy's moment? Storyline or not? Come on. This guy deserved it. Some people may say, oh, he's not entertaining, but hey, he can be. When he can't be he's entertaining. We want wrestlers to be focused again. And D-Boy getting screwed was the icing on the cake. So, he said, Bryan's selfish. Look who's talking, fucker. He's like, I leave my ego at the door when I go to work. You should have left your ego at the door last night, fucker. You know what I mean? I don't know what storyline, but hey. This is the most I've hated Triple H. I was really, really engaged in the characters when I was younger. This is the most I hated Triple H since McMahon and Helmsley era. I really hated Triple H. I really hated Stephanie. I even bought a sign once when I went to wrestling, so I bought a sign that said the asshole and the slut. You know what I mean? And that's what happened. Triple H is the asshole again, and he sold out indeed. So Orton came out, and like I said, Orton didn't get cheered. He got cheered a little. He didn't get a lot of boos. Basically, the fans like Orton and all, but they should be booing him still. But I think they just don't like the fact that Triple H helped him be champion. So Triple H is like, come on, Daniel Bryan. I know you're here. I know you want to talk to me man to man. Come on. Talk to me. But I was basically laying a trap for Daniel Bryan to come out to get attacked like he did. So Daniel Bryan came out. And all the superstars went away after they didn't do anything. But then as D-Bryan was going towards the ring, the Shield beat him up. The security. But then D-Bryan got past him. Like he kicked the hell out of Rollins and Ambrose. And then he got speared by Reigns. And then, after that spear, they were setting up the triple powerbomb again on D-Bryan. But then Triple H told him to stop, put him down. Make him come in. Finally, I do want to talk. But as D-Bryan finally got in the ring after the attack by the Shield at ringside, Daniel walked straight into an RKO by Randy Orton. And that's how we end off. RKOing Daniel Bryan and McMahon family happy and raising Randy Orton's hands. And like I said at the beginning, isn't it weird that Stephanie McMahon and Triple H and Vince McMahon are aligned with Randy Orton now? I know Triple H and Randy Orton getting along again. Fine, but seeing Randy Orton hugging Stephanie and shaking hands with Vince, especially after their personal rivalry between Triple H and McMahon family against Randy Orton at WrestleMania 25, and Randy Orton killed Stephanie and kissed, I know, a storyline and all, but hey, it just felt kind of weird because they went through that storyline. They were so personal, now they're friends. I know it's wrestling storyline, but hey, it's just, like I said, it feels weird. So there you go. Randy Orton sends a big statement to Daniel Bryan. No official word on the rematch, but I bet you it will happen. It will happen in Detroit. Night of Champions. I want to go, but I'm busy. I'm gigging a lot. I would love to go, but I have a busy working weekend. I have 4 gigs in a row, morning and night shows. I'll be overworked. So there you go. Orton, Girls Divine, sending a big message saying, I am the man. Triple H screwed you over. I don't care. You never saw it coming. Well, my friends saw it coming. Like I said in my review, my friends called it. And they knew exactly that Triple H was going to pedigree him. They kind of called it. I call things sometimes, but they called it too when I was watching my friends last night. But that is it for my WWE Raw review for tonight. I'll see you all later with that in mind. You've all been attacked by the review from Zach. Thank you all very much for watching. See you all later again. Yeah. Have a good night, everybody.